Peace, peace, love, 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 family. Always love. Who's my family? The house of Yisrael, and all those who serve Yah and seek His truth, His righteousness, and His justice. Um, I just woke up not too long ago, and you know, I always say my prayers, and then of course I hop on my device, my iPad, start looking up some things, and I've been meaning to talk about this for a minute, but I feel like it was appropriate right now, and these are some of the things that Israel does not consider nor acknowledge nor take accountability for. And they are very, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Double standard minded when it comes to this topic that I'm getting ready to talk about. Now, I know it says American atheist at the top. I don't even know how I came across this, but just in my look at something in my search, I came across this little site, and it's on point to what I want to talk about, not specifically on American atheism. I don't want to talk about that. But when we go down to here, I'm talking about the contrary and the contradictory that comes out of the New Testament. And Israelites who are Christian and Israelites who are followers of the Yahushua teachings, they do not consider this thing that I'm getting ready to talk about. I want to ask you guys this, you Christians and you Israelites who the majority of us would say still has a Christian mindset. Why don't you guys hold the disciples of Yahushua or Jesus accountable like Yah holds his prophets accountable in his book? The so-called Old Testament, right? The book of remembrance. That's Malachi chapter 3, verses 16 through 18. I know that little sidebar. Well, why don't you guys hold the disciples of Jesus or Yahushua accountable? What I mean is this. Many would say that John book is not credible because he's speaking things that's contrary and ill towards the speakings of Jesus or Yahushua. And then you would discredit his book and say that book does not belong or we don't follow or listen to John. But when it comes to Yah and his prophets in the whole Old Testament, all of that is held accountable. Meaning that if Yah says that he does nothing without addressing or coming from his prophets first, that's what it is. We cannot now disclude a prophet because it's going against what Yah says. We would just do this. That prophet is not of Yah, and that's not of the word of Yah. That's how that goes when it comes to that. But in the New Testament, when one of the disciples or one of the followers of the teachings of Jesus or Yahushua goes against what Jesus or Yahushua have said, you would discredit him and just say that, well, he don't belong. That's not what Yahushua said. No, he is a follower. He baptized Jesus or Yahushua. He is a follower of the teachings, and he's saying one thing, Yahushua is saying another thing. That right there is a red flag. So you can't just throw the whole person away. You can't just throw John away or anyone else who speaks differently, right? Like you got books in Luke who has different genealogies going on over there. Then you go into Matthew, it's a different genealogy going on over there. And then you guys would just sit up there and say this. You would say, well, put it like this in simple terms. You will make up an excuse for them, and they're not held accountable. Like immediately when you get that red flag, you're supposed to be like, "Oh nah, this book is trash. Oh nah, them teachers is trash. Oh nah, we're not even listening to that. We about to go to Yah. We about to listen to the original covenant." So that's what it. You know what? Instead of Old Testament, I'm gonna start calling it the original Testament. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not old. It's just it's the original. You know what I mean? The sovereign law, the sovereign covenant, the sovereign testament. So yeah, once you see the red flags, you're supposed to say, okay, I'm about to go ahead and go back to this original covenant where Yah holds his people, his princes, his priests, his judges, his prophets accountable, and they have to speak in order or in line with Yah. We can't just throw the whole thing away. Like right here, I'm gonna go down here for an example, because I was looking at this, and I had talks about this. Okay, this incest part, right, where it says, "Cursed be he that lie with his sister, the daughter of his mother, or the daughter of his the daughter of his father, or the daughter of his mother. And if a man shall take his sister, his father, daughter, or his mother, daughter, it is a wicked thing," right? Then it says, "But what was God's reaction to Abraham who married his sister, his father's daughter?" See Genesis 20:11-12. Right there, that sounds like a big contradiction. That sounds like, you know what? This ain't right. The, the whole Bible was false. Throw it all away. See, at least one thing you can do with Yah, like you can't make it an excuse. You can just read the story, right? And you can read the people, read the characters, read what happened. And then it's clear as day that Abraham and Sarah were not brother and sister, blood wise. Abraham he lied. Numerous times he lied because he didn't have the full trust in Yah that he would deliver him and fulfill that promise that he gave him. Now, if you read the story and read the books and you read the character of Abraham, you would see that he didn't have full trust in Yah. So he will lie every time. Numerous accounts. You would go through Genesis. If I was doing this like a separate type of video, I would just pull it up. But read about when he was approached, by the Pharaoh, by the Egyptians. He lied and said, Sarah is my sister, because he feared for his life that he would get slaughtered by Pharaoh because of how beautiful Sarah was. Instead of just being like, you know what, this is my wife, and let's take it from there, and just trusting that Yah gave you a covenant. He promised you something. He's not gonna not fulfill that covenant and allow you to pass or die under the hand of Pharaoh when he hasn't established his covenant with you yet. You know what I'm saying? So if you look throughout the book and you read, you will see that Abraham lied numerous of times. You know what I mean? So that's how you know Abraham wasn't perfect. And it's a different definition of what perfect means or righteousness means when Yah is talking about Abraham. It's just that Abraham didn't turn from Yah. He wasn't, you know, he wasn't perfect in Yah, but he never turned from Yah. But I don't want to get too far off. But I just want to show the examples of you guys, like how you guys don't take accountability of the folly and the contrariness that's coming out of the New Testament. You guys would just throw the whole book away just to save and spare your beloved Jesus or Yahweh Shai, rather than throwing him and the whole book away. Now, I can see if a person can just go back and read in between the things that's contrary to Yah and then justify it like righteously, like, nah, this is what really happened. This is what really said. But you find this out throughout the whole book of the New Testament, that disciples is not on point. Like you guys will say that it is the disciples saying that Jesus is God, but Jesus never said that. I read a part where Jesus compared himself to God, or Yahweh Shai compared himself to God, that him and God is one, coming from his own mouth. The red letters, right? That's what give it away. But many of you guys who haven't really read the full New Testament will say, well, Yahweh Shai, Jesus never said that. Um, the other authors said that. But you can't do that with the you can't do that with the original testament, the original covenant. You can't say Jonah said this. Okay, as a matter of fact, I'm glad I mentioned Jonah. When you, like when Yah told Jonah to go to the city and announce his sin that he's getting ready to fall upon him, right? And then Yah repented himself and didn't fall upon the city of Nineveh, right? So right there, you would say, well, that's contrary. The words of Yah never comes back to him void, because that's what Yah said. Yah said that what he puts out, it will never come back to him void. So whatever he say must happen and it will happen. See, this is the difference between God and man and the law. The law is for men, and the words that come from Yah is for men to listen and to do. But Yah is the sovereign one on the outcome of every matter. We don't know what Yah is doing and how Yah is perceiving and getting ready to judge a situation. He may have a learning lesson involved, he may show compassion, or he may show wrath. And one thing a lot of people don't consider is with Jonah is that Jonah was prideful, right? Jonah was prideful. And Yah was checking that. See, Yah talks about pride and arrogancy throughout this book. And he has prime examples. Like Jonah, like, how you gonna send me on a mission and not do this? And you making me look a certain type of way. But it wasn't about Jonah. It's about Yah showing his compassion and keeping another part of his law. But like Yah said, if a city or if a person turn from his evil or his wickedness, then I will spare him. So it's still in correlation with Yah. So there's no contrary going on. There's nothing to combat against the original covenant. That's the Old Testament, yeah. The original covenant, the original testament. There's nothing to combat because Yah always have it in line and in order to what he's doing, because we can't judge the outcome of what Yah is doing. We are here to perform the duty and the task and spill the word that Yah gives unto us. But the outcome is fairly unto Yah. But we don't see that when it comes to the New Testament. It gets brushed off and you sparing the idol of the New Testament, Yahweh Shai Jesus, and you don't hold the disciples accountable. You just throw them away as if you can just do that. No, that makes the book not credible if you can't validate the reason. If you can't validate the reason, then that makes the whole book credible. That makes the whole book not credible. That makes the person not credible. That makes the individual not credible. That makes the situation not credible. You know what I'm saying? The book comes in crooked. The book comes in crooked. So the book comes in crooked, and it's going to end crooked, which it does. It starts crooked and it ends crooked. It starts contrary to Yah and it ends contrary to Yah. And that's just the truth of the matter. So this video that I'm doing right here, you know, it's not about American atheism at all. It's about how New Testament followers do not hold their book, their Jesus, their Yahweh Shai, their disciples, the letters, the writings of that book accountable to its folly and its contrary unto the Most High. They rather throw away the whole book, throw away the whole person, and say, well, Jesus didn't say that. But you can't do that with Yah and his prophets and his people and his judges, his priests and his princes. You can't do that with Yah. Because Yah has a law saying that it's a law literally that they have to follow these ordinances, statutes, commandments, testimonies. It's a way that people have to keep in the original covenant, which is the so-called Old Testament. It's a way that they have to keep because they are to be set apart like Yah. And when they are not set apart like Yah and they do things contrary unto Yah, Yah makes a blemish on that person's situation and character. He puts a blemish on that to where you can see it to say, this is not of me. Don't be like this. Return to this because this is me. That's the difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament, and those who hold the original covenant, so-called Old Testament, accountable, and those who do not hold the New Testament accountable for its wrong and its wickedness. Alright, that's all I got to say on this video, man. I don't want to dwell too much on it, but it's no need for me to keep hammering and hammering and hammering. You know, my point, I'm pretty sure you guys get the point, so I'm going to end it off right there. I want to say this: peace, love, compassion, humility, contrite unto the house of Israel, and make sure to be that way and keep that way before Yah. Yah is King, King of Kings. God bless y'all.